Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a first impression on a foundation stick that I received from Sephora. It's a little mini size. This is the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation Stick and mine is in the color Natural. Now for a little sample size you get a ton of products, so I was very happy about that. So I'm going to try this out today and give you guys my first impressions on what I think about it. I have never tried a foundation stick before. I've only used liquid foundations. So this should be interesting to see how I like it. I have already gone ahead and moisturized my face. Well, I cleansed it and then I moisturized it, so we're all prepped and ready to go. The first thing that you want to do with foundation, in my opinion, is prime. So I'm going to prime my face. This is the Laura Geller Spackled Supercharged makeup primer. I like to use a makeup primer that sinks into the skin, sort of like a moisturizer. It just sinks into the skin and just leaves a slightly tacky texture for the foundation to stick to. So go ahead and get it on our fingers and just rub it in to your face. Now I do like to let my primer sink in for a couple of minutes just so that way it's not a wet base when I go in with my foundation. So I'm just going to let this sink in and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've let the primer sink into our skin a little bit. It's slightly tacky, which is what we want. The first thing that I like to do is I like to color correct. Now this is actually another Bobbi Brown product that I love. This is the Intensive Skin Serum Corrector in color Light Peach, number 10. I did get this in gratis from Sephora, but I absolutely love it, and when I'm out I will repurchase it. So I like to color correct under my eyes, because I do have slightly dark circles and I have some concaved like areas, so this helps to camouflage that a little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and buff this in all around the under eye. And hopefully you can see that now it's just a little bit more of a corrected surface for me to work on. So let's get to it. So this is the foundation stick. Now typically foundation sticks are a little bit thicker. I'm going to swatch it. Oh yeah. It's definitely, oh, we'll see if this is going to be my color. It's a little dark. It's definitely thicker, so we'll see. I guess I'm just going to slip it on. Now I don't know how much I should be using, so I'm just kind of putting it everywhere. And then typically I like a medium to full coverage foundation. If I'm going to do my makeup, I like to do medium to full coverage foundation, so that way my skin is covered and looking almost flawless. And I love using the Beauty Blender for my foundations, but I have seen a lot of people and heard a lot of people say that when you're using foundation sticks, you should, or they apply better with a brush. So I'm going to use a kabuki type brush to buff this in. I do have to say it's blending out pretty nicely. I didn't really know what to expect because I've never used a stick foundation before. So that did blend out pretty nicely, but it is a pretty sheer coverage, so I'm definitely going to have to go back in with another layer of it. Okay, so this is one layer of the foundation buffed out. I think it's a little, I don't know, I can't tell if it's a little dark. I think it's a little dark for me. But this is one layer of it buffed out. This is definitely not enough coverage for me at all. I can still see all of my skin. This might be nice for an everyday, or just like a, I don't want to wear makeup, but I want to wear a little bit, you know, kind of even out my complexion a little bit. So I'm going to go in with another round of it. And kind of really pack it on to see how it's going to buff out and blend with the second layer. Now I'm going to have to use a very light concealer to help this foundation color match me. Okay. Let's go ahead and buff this out. Okay, so I went ahead and buffed out that second layer, and as you can tell, it definitely is buildable. This color natural is a little too dark for me. I even dragged it down and you can still tell it's a little too dark for me. But we're going to see if we can make it work. What I actually did after I buffed it out with the brush for the second layer, it was getting a little streaky and it was coming off of my nose. So I applied a little bit more, and then I went in with my my Real Technique sponge, and I just dotted all around. That really helped to get rid of the streaks from the brush, and I think it's pretty nice. I'd say this is a medium coverage. I can still see through it a little bit. But it did blend out nice, so it came off of my nose a little bit. Can you tell? It blended with the sponge pretty nicely, got rid of all the streaks. So I am going to move on to concealer. Today, let's see. I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin. Jeez, I'm almost basically out of this. You can see all the white spaces. This is a super light color. This is in the color Fair Neutral. And I'm going to use this to help lighten up this foundation. And we'll see how this lays over it, if the foundation gets disturbed at all. Okay. And for this, I am going to use my sponge to blend it out. This concealer's, I know everybody talks about it, but this concealer is one of my favorites, the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. It just blends out so easily. I really do enjoy it. Okay, so blending this concealer out with the sponge over the foundation's not separating, it's not picking up, it is staying in place. So that's a good thing. I feel like usually this concealer lightens me up quite a bit, and I don't think it did that too much with this foundation, so I don't know if it's just not mixing well with it, but I don't feel like it lightened me up like it usually does. But it did blend nicely, and the foundation did stay in place. Okay. Let's see how powders lay on top of this. I'm going to go ahead and set my concealer with this HD Studio powder from NYX. It's a loose powder. Loose translucent powder. Get some on a brush. Alright, that powder laid nicely over it. I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild contour palette in Dolce de Leche to the highlight side, because I still need some brightness. I am not getting the brightness that I want from this look. This powder is excellent. I've purchased it since it was in the old formula. I've purchased the new formula. I do like the old one better, the color of the contour better in the old one, but this is the newer formula. This one is nice. But I love those powders because they go on so nicely. And they really help to brighten up the face. That highlight shade really helps to brighten up the face. So I'm going to go in with this face powder from Givenchy. This is the powder foundation in number 3 Elegant Sand. This is a super finely milled powder foundation. So I'm just going to take it and stipple it over. Yeah, it's still a little tacky where I haven't set it. And I do set everything because I have oily skin. So, but that foundation, even if you had dry skin, it did not set. It was a little tacky. Which I thought stick foundations were... I thought stick foundations set. So, if any of you have used stick foundations, let me know your experiences with them. And if they set fully, or if you have like a favorite stick foundation. Like I said, this is my first time trying it, so we'll see. Well, the powder went on nice. It didn't skip or pick up any of the foundation. So, for me it'll be seeing how long it wears, how it breaks down on my skin. So, I think the color did even out a little bit though, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my makeup and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. Overall, I feel like this foundation does look pretty good on the skin. I will see how it wears to determine if I really like it or not. It's not quite as full coverage as I prefer. You can still see some freckles peeking through, which isn't a terrible thing, but it just, in my opinion, isn't going to wear as long because you can already see through the foundation. It applied nicely. All the products applied nicely over this foundation. So, the only other concern that I have is, of course, Bobbi Brown is a very expensive luxury brand. I don't know if I really would repurchase it, but we'll see how it wears throughout the day. I mean, if it wears beautifully and in, 9 hours I still look like this, well, then it might be worth the splurge. So, I will wear this throughout the day, and then I will check in back with you guys later on to let you know how it's wearing. But so far, I do like the way it has applied to my skin, and it still looks good. It hasn't clung to any dry patches or sunken into any fine lines or wrinkles. Well, I always get these lines and wrinkles. Every foundation goes into those, so. But other than that, it's pretty good. So, I'll let you guys know how this wears later on. Hey guys, I'm back with my update for my first impressions of how the Bobbi Brown stick foundation is holding up. It is about 6:20 p.m. Oh god, my arm hurts. It is about 6:20 p.m. I applied this foundation at around 9:30 this morning, so 9:30 a.m. I did change my lip because I had work at Sephora. Obviously, I'm still in my uniform. Got my Starbucks. Whoop, whoop. So I've had this foundation on roughly about, I don't know, like 9 hours. It has held up pretty well. So I'll zoom in a little bit. Don't mind the texture on my face. I'm going to go to my forehead. Some lines and wrinkles. Told you guys I had them. Okay. So, my overall first impression is that this foundation's pretty good. It wore nicely. My blush, my highlight, my bronzer is all still in place. It hasn't moved. I have not touched up at all. Not even blotted. I haven't done anything. I do have oily skin, so you can see on my forehead that nice shine. That is not highlight. And if you can tell around my mouth and around my nose a little bit, it has definitely sunk into those lines and kind of creped up a little bit. But after 9 hours of wear, it's not too bad. I like this foundation. I've never tried a stick foundation before, so I do like the way it wears. I don't think that I would buy this foundation with the intention of wearing it as a full coverage glam foundation. But I do think that I would buy it as a, like an everyday natural finish and just do one layer of it, so that my skin was still peeking through, but it still looked even and like, oh, does she have makeup on, or is that just her natural skin? So I do like it. It is expensive as Bobbi Brown, but I think that I would purchase it for just an everyday, easy, quick foundation for more of a natural look. And I guess I guess that's it, guys. Oh geez, I cannot hold this camera straight. If you guys have any questions about the foundation, let me know. And thanks for watching. I don't know what else to say. It was pretty good. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions about this foundation, just let me know. Let me know. Actually, let me know if you guys have any recommendations for stick foundations, or if you've tried a Bobbi Brown and you really like it, or tried any other ones that really liked them. I'd love to know. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Hope y'all have a great evening. Talk to you later. Bye.